Six Gun Productions. New media, new rules.
This is Geek News Radio. Broadcast 41 for Monday, June 26th, 2017. Dank Millennium.
You do realise if you put me first, I'm going to introduce myself as Dave.
That's okay. That's good. This is Geek News Radio, episode 41. In the grim darkness of the 41st episode, there is only Rans. I'm Fab in Isenhagen in Germany.
I'm Joe in Dundee. Yes.
And I'm Mike in Scaries.
And it's your boy, Butter Seagull, in Birmingham.
What? Butter Seagull?
Yeah, no, it's Dave. I'm Dave.
Okay.
Jokes.
Guys,
Butter Seagull was kind of bitter.
It's nice. We're here to talk Warhammer. Just before we start the show, this is Thursday night, and if this show ends in flames, it's because there's a massive thunderstorm moving over Hanover right now. We figured out there's a Guns N' Roses concert in like open air right now going on there, and I think Mike has launched like an orbital lightning strike barrage because they're also using GNR as their thing. And yeah,
I've brought in the heavy artillery. It's Thor, you know, the Norse god of thunder and lightning and vengeance against the rockers who are too big for their own boots.
And I'm caught in the crossfire because I'm too close.
Yeah.
Nah, it's fine. Acceptable losses.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's why we have so many people on the show tonight. So we once again have Joe. Didn't you figure out it's been a year since you were on last?
Yeah, it was a year last week or something.
Too long, man.
Yeah.
Too long.
Yeah,
Too long.
Yeah, tell me
Yep.
about it.
Nice to have you back. And we're going to talk...
Cheers.
Today we're just going to talk about Warhammer, the new 8th edition, Warhammer 40k, which everybody has except me. I pre-ordered it on like pre-order day, which as we record this, been pretty much, it's almost 3 weeks ago now. And like they shipped it out on Sunday night or something. Yeah. And it didn't get to me like it should have, it got to me today, but I was at work, so it's lying at the post office right now. And I'm praying to the Emperor that the post office hasn't been struck by lightning and burned down.
Yeah.
Could have flooded, though.
Oh, God.
Yep.
I'm never
Carried
gonna-
away on a wave of tears.
At least
out
we know
to
it's not lost in the war.
the German countryside.
I don't know. Maybe it was lost in the warp. Fuck. If I'm a bit pissed off tonight, this is why. Because
Tonight.
more pissed off than usual. Because they were hyping it up. Like my Twitter was going crazy, and then I realized, damn. I thought if you pre-order 2 weeks before, like they send it out a few days early. Because
As opposed to a day after release, yeah.
Yes, and you can kind of estimate how long it'll take. I mean, they have
On Sunday, the notoriously good postal day.
Yeah,
Well.
I don't know. Like, and they have stores in Germany, so they know how long it takes shipping. I mean, I could have picked it up at the store, except I don't have time for that because I need to work when they're open.
Why didn't you get it delivered to work, Fab?
I would have gotten it today, yeah. But like I didn't know, like I was, so if it had come the day or the day before that, I could have, like if I had known, like if they had tracking as well, I could have just had a home office day and then got it. But today I had to go in because we do a video podcast and I had to host it, so I kind of had to be at work today. Damn it! So
Catch 22 there. Yep.
At least I've got tomorrow off. You all have a book, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Well, I have someone else's book, yes.
well, that's good enough.
That'll do.
better than me. So we can talk about that in a bit. There's just a few things I want to talk about before. Apparently Joe wants to talk about Kings of War and Dave's haircut.
No, the Kings of War was me taking the piss.
It's
Well trolled, sir.
Was it? What is that again? Is that like the old Warhammer for the people who like the old Warhammer?
No, it's old Warhammer style stuff done by Mantic, who are a load of ex-GW employees, and the models are shite and the rules are shite, and it's just shite. It's the thing most furthest away from the new 40k that I could think of.
Yeah, the models, that doesn't surprise me, but the rules are shite. That's kind of like Warhammer, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't say I was the biggest fan of 8th edition. I played it, but it wasn't the best game. It was old and doddery and a bit similar to how old 40k was.
I just liked the world because it was like kind of, the Holy Roman Empire kind of thing, and it was all German.
Hey, Fab, do you like Romans? I've got a great Space Marine chapter for you.
Oh god, what is it? The fucking Ultramarines.
Yeah, it is.
I already have a Space Marine chapter, mate.
So that's something we need to talk about, this being Dave's last episode.
Oh yeah. We were replacing him with you because you have taste.
Yeah.
In Space Marine chapters.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, we have a little war going on because Ultramarines are also Mike's chapter, aren't they?
Well, the difference between me and Dave is obviously that I chose the Ultramarines way before they were even close to being
cool.
vanilla as they are now. When it was like everybody wanted to be Blood Angels or Dark Angels, and then obviously I saw these blue guys and they were like, oh, not a lot of people are doing them, and yeah, it's cool with the Centurion sort of ethos there, and all that. And then 20 years later, oh my god.
I'm the loyalist, non-Ultramarine person here.
What's your chapter, Joe?
Oh, Imperial Fist all the way.
Oh, very
Which
good.
is actually my second favorite chapter.
Oh, so you're only loyalist chapter then?
Yeah, well, Dark Angels and
You're only loyalist chapter.
Well, I don't know. Since the loyalists are now the guys who are messing with the Emperor's gene seed, I don't know what's going on now. I mean,
that was the Mechanicum. That's what they're doing. Rabude just asked for some more Space Marines. That's all he asked for.
And they were bigger.
They pretty much look like Space Marines, and it's took a bit of time.
You know what? There's actually it took the Mechanicum as long to deliver these fucking new Space Marines as Games Workshop took to deliver my rulebook. Almost.
No, they're not. The Mechanicum aren't that bad.
10,000 years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh god, there's another thunderstorm coming. Oh fuck, I really need an uninterruptible power supply. If you could look out the window, it's like the sky is red and there's like lightning flashes everywhere. It's like bloody.
Fab, if you just put your faith in the Emperor, Fab. I know it's hard, but it's hard. You'll be fine.
It's hard for a Dark Angel, yeah. I'm a sinner, mate. Before we go deep into 40k, though, one thing I wanted to mention, I learned this week something amazing. My dad just WhatsApped me and said, "Did you know that Kiefer Sutherland recorded a country music album?" And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "It isn't bad." And I've been listening to it all week. It's really good. So if you like country music...
No, I'm going to have to stop you there. Sorry, country music and isn't bad in the same sentence.
I like country music. What?
Yeah, but you also like Dark Angels.
Country music's great in the context of Taylor Swift.
That's not country music. That is shit.
I think this is the only overlap me and Dave have music-wise.
You also like Taylor Swift?
I love Taylor Swift.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
So
I
does my
couldn't name
2-year-old
one of her
son.
songs.
Yeah, me neither.
No. So,
I just know it annoys me when she comes on the radio. But anyway, if you like country music, this is good. It's not that country as well. It's like really like grungy. I mean, it's obviously country, but it's got like electric, like rock stuff. It's really good. Another thing I wanted to mention is that Star Trek Discovery has a air date now. Which
Yeah, I
is,
saw James Swallow retweet that. It's the 24th of September, which is
yep.
miles away.
And the ship
Miles.
still looks like shit in the little animation they released on Twitter.
Well, no, because it's kind of 2D in this, so it doesn't look as bad.
No, it's like it's triangular in the back.
Yeah, but like you don't get to see it shitness from all the other angles. You just see the top-down shitness.
See the uniforms. The uniforms look like
yes.
fucking Zap Brannigan from Futurama. They have like this trim on the shoulders, which I think is like the rank pips or whatever. It looks like it's horrible. Speaking of horrible uniforms, another thing I wanted to talk about quickly, which I found this week, which made me really laugh. No, this is even worse than the Ultramarines. No, it's kind of like the Ultramarines. So the Department of Defense, the U.S. Department of Defense, bought new uniforms for the Afghan National Army. And so they chose a proprietary camouflage pattern. I'll have to look this up. It's called... what is it called? It's by Hyperstel.
It's like special, isn't it? It's got like a 4 in it.
Spec 4 CE. And now the operative part, Spec 4 CE Forest. And it's
isn't that leap speak for Spec Ace?
Maybe you're right. Well,
I read it as Special Force. Special Force.
Oh, it could be that too.
Yes,
Spec Force,
that's it.
Special Force, yeah.
But it's a woodland camouflage pattern. These guys will be as visible as Ultramarines in the bloody desert. I mean,
Yeah.
poor bastards.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like a kind of like, when they painted desert stuff kind of pink. I thought it would have like a seemingly equally ridiculous thing, but then you see photos of it and go, nope, they are significantly not the color of the things around them.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Which is
Good
funny
luck.
because before they ordered that, they tried like the old BDU uniforms, like the woodland pattern, which the US Army used to have, and they're like completely wrong as well.
Yes, you got a photo which will probably be in the show notes. So the comparison is like, how does this camouflage one? It does not.
Well, it's all the forests in Afghanistan,
But it's proprietary, so that means it's good.
Yeah, if you want to have a laugh, go to hyperstealth.com, which
Well,
is...
that's the best name.
Well, if you go to it, it's hyperstealth.com. Their tagline is amazing. So on their website, it says, leaders in camouflage, concealment, and deception. Which means I won't believe anything you say on this website.
Oh, so this website looks like I made it in 1999.
I like the picture of the guy who leads the company, like in a green shirt. He's missing a trick though. Like his tie isn't like the camouflage pattern.
That'd be a good tie.
They should have just done it all on a green screen and just left his head on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. Our stealth is so good, you can't see me.
Oh, wow. Read about hyper stealth breakthrough quantum stealth.
Yeah. They're also...
Shh, we were never here. Just
Have you seen they've put like camo on a MiG-29?
Yeah.
What?
Well, if it's on the ground, you don't want to see it, right? It's like...
Yeah, but then there's loads of photos of it on the ground next to things that aren't the color of the camouflage.
They have good names though, like Optifade.
Optifade. Oh yeah, there's one called Slovakian Digital Thunder.
I also like that they're called Hyperstealth Biotechnology Corporation. Slightly worrying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Resident Evil.
This is like some kind of like, I don't know, Colexis assassin shit.
To be fair to them, some of them are all right. Like the Australian SAS trial is good. I can't really work out what's going on there.
I really like camouflage patterns. Like just as a fashion accessory. I really like the shoes. They make like shoes.
So if you scroll down far enough, there's 6 pairs of trousers you don't own that you should get.
Yeah, they look good.
Some of them are only available in Europe, Fab.
That blue stuff is amazing. That looks like they should make a Hawaiian shirt with that blue, like, camouflage stuff. That
I think we must invite them to do like a Sabaton 2.0 or something. You know,
Yeah.
like Hyper Sabaton. Yes, brings them into the game of tank warfare. By the way, did you see that they joined up with the?
Yes, the World of Tanks. Yeah.
I just looked at it and went, "Wow."
I made an appointment for work. They haven't said much about it except they're gonna talk about it at Gamescom, and I'm gonna meet them at Gamescom. And wow. Sorry, I'm distracted.
That sounds awesome.
The world is no. I'm not meeting Sabaton at Gamescom. I don't think that would be great. But I'm going to talk to the World of Tank guys. Actually, Merkel is opening Gamescom, so maybe Sabaton's going to be there as well. That would be good. I would enjoy that a lot.
Why is she opening Gamescom?
I have no idea.
My brain just short-circuited there.
Yeah,
So how did you?
What?
Didn't you know she mains Hanzo in Overwatch. She's big into like esports.
Is she not a Reinhardt person?
You're right. She would be a Reinhardt person, wouldn't she?
Yeah. Or like, German engineering, she could be a Torbjorn.
No, I think Reinhardt's good. It's like get play of the match, Angela Merkel as Reinhardt.
But she was like she's a PhD in what was it, chemistry or something?
Yeah, chemistry.
Like chemical engineering or something real.
Yeah.
She's qualified.
Guys, Hyperstealth has a Deceptex, great name. Whoa, that was the lightning. Oh, sorry, I'm the Deceptex jacket. In the camouflage pattern is called Beer 15.
What?
It's beer camouflage. Awesome.
So it's like you can drink a beer in your own living room without your wife noticing.
Oh yes!
Works.
Oh, it's perfect. I need that immediately. I'd pay 300 euros for that jacket. That worked. Ah, God, Hyperstar. Anyway, let's talk about guys that go like after the Afghan army. Let's talk about the other guys that don't care about camouflage. Space Marines.
Space Marines.
So, guys, what's going on with this new edition? I heard it's amazing.
It
is amazing.
Good, yeah. Has anyone else actually played it yet?
Not yet, no. I've bought stuff.
Welcome to Geek News Radio.
Yeah.
Where we geek, hyper geek, meta geek about stuff we have no clue about.
It's quantum geek.
Quantum geek.
Psst, we never played.
Yeah. Well, I did play a 7th edition game a couple of weekends ago, and having gone through the rulebook with the gaming fresh in mind, it comes close.
So 8 comes close to 7? I think.
I conked out there. I don't.
Yeah, you cut out for a bit. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So I can definitely see that. I think overall the keywords is simplification and sort of shorter, more sort of active playtime. I think that's what they have tried to prioritize.
So is it still pretty similar, or are there like significant changes?
No, there are significant changes. Yeah, where should we start? I mean, basically on, for example, setting up, you do it alternate now. So
okay.
In the most recent one, one army would set up and then the other army would set up. But now it's alternate on detachments, because what they've gone now into, they've scrapped the formations, if you remember the formations.
Yeah.
So basically now, what they've done is they've said, okay, we know that there are a lot of casual players, people who like to do sort of narrative, thematic battles. So you just work it out amongst yourselves, use the models, just pile them onto the table if you want to. Have a blast. Go play. Use the rules.
So that's like
Don't
the
worry.
AOS.
Yeah. Exactly. So they're opening up to just go. You know what? If you just want to whack all your models on the table and just have a go, just do it.
They've made
And here's the framework to do it with the rules. But for the guys or girls who want match play, they now have a power rating per unit.
No, right. So it took me a while to work this one out. So there are power ratings for units, which are the quick and dirty way of building a list, which you pay for the unit or adding stuff to the unit.
So is this points?
Yeah, it's kind of like points, but there are points as well. But with power unit, you pay for the unit. You can gear it however you want, and you don't pay any more power units. If you add more models, you pay a bit more. But I can give my Mega Knobs flamers. That's fine. Doesn't add any to my power level.
Right.
But if I'm doing it by points, every time I add a flamer, I'll have to work out that I'm adding 15 points, whatever, to it.
So points is like if you do want to do competitive and play, and power rating is more like roughly. It's going to be roughly fair. We're friends here, you know.
Yeah, power rating is a much more fun way of doing it.
Mm.
And quicker, I guess, right?
Yes, a lot quicker. And it means you don't have to worry about what everything has, and don't have to worry about having to model exactly what you've paid for points-wise, because you just say, I've got 10 of these guys, 3 of them have flames, great. It's still the same power rating.
So I think they're really saying, just talk to your opponent. If both people agree that it's more or less fair, then you're good to go. So there, I think it seems a very sort of community-based one where, as you say, Joe, you can stop worrying about all the little nitty-gritty details, but you can still have a fairly balanced match and set it up quickly.
Yeah, I've actually had a game of this. I am actually prepared and organised for this. So yeah, sorry.
Off the show. You're not on brand.
You can't replace me.
No, I'm like Primaris Dave. I'm Dave, but slightly better.
Perfect. Pure, so pure.
Yeah, they're so pure.
But not Ultramarines. Thanks. I'm yellow. I like my walls too much for vanilla.
Understandable.
But we started off trying to work out what the points were for stuff, and then I asked on Twitter, and one of the guys who works at Warhammer World said, "Nah, just use power level. It's much easier." I'm like, okay, and did that, and I was like, oh, I've built my list of what I own in about 30 seconds. That's great. I'll do that.
That is fast.
Yeah,
that is really fast.
Because it is quite a pain just from like the layout of the book for building your lists, because they haven't kind of like put them in a convenient place for all the points. So you've got like you've got like your stuff at the back. Like you've got your kind of like index of stuff. There's like a unit of.
You're thumbing through the book, aren't you? You bastard!
I'm thumbing through the book, so I'll be like, listen to that paper that is in my hands. It's better than Fab's not having paper. So I'll be like, a unit contains 4 sanguinary guard, and you can take blah 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 blah. So you have to. Oh my god!
What the fuck was that? What like in your living room?
Yeah, basically just drove into my living room. So like you have to look up in one section of the rulebook where all the stuff is, like what you can in theory take and what you can replace with stuff. Then you have to go to the back, and then you have to work out like how much that is. For like the models. Some of the models will have war gear included, some of it won't, and then you have to go to like a subtly different section to like look up the costs of the war gear. So it's like 3 different bits to simultaneously look at to work out what you have to do.
It's much easier just to look at the power level at the top of the war scroll and just go, yeah, cool, that.
Are we calling them war scrolls?
Data slate.
I play too much Age of Sigmar not to call them war scrolls.
Cool, I'm going to call them war scrolls too.
So these are the things that are actually free, right? So you get them with the unit if you buy a unit, right?
You get the data slates, yeah.
Do you?
Or you can download them, right?
Can you?
I don't know.
No,
I'm asking.
Well, Yeah, well, sorry, data sheets. I think that's what they call them. So basically, I think the way now is that they have completely reset everything. They've reset the rules. They've reset all factions.
Right.
So
Worrying.
the core rules you can download them. It's 12 pages or something like that. So yes, so you can access the core rules. All the data sheets have now been compiled into what they call the indexes. The indexes you still have to.
Yeah, they're not free, are they?
No, they're not free. So, for example, for me, I would like to see my Space Marines, my Tyranids, Gene Steel Cults, and I have a few Knights as well sitting in a box. So that meant that I had to buy 3 indexes. So the Imperium 1, which covers all the Space Marines, Xenos 2, which is Tyranids and Gene Stealers and Tau and Orcs, I think.
Yeah.
And then I think Imperium 2 is the one with the Knights in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for existing players, you would probably have to do that. But it's my understanding from now on, when you buy a box with stuff for the new edition, you will get the data sheet with that.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's good.
So,
I like that. So they did that with like a Rabute and Lads Triumvirate thing. They came with all the rules and stuff in the box, which was good.
Who?
And
Rabute. Who's that?
Rabute,
Who's
the
that
pure
again?
one.
It's the only Primarch that's still alive. What?
Papa Smurf. Well, Vulcan still lives.
Oh, but he's so boring.
We think.
So boring.
The lion will kick all your asses. And he's back.
Well, I mean, the thing is...
He's gonna kick your ass like he kicked Russ's ass.
Hey.
Yeah, but it's not...
I think they still debate that down at the Primark pub. Who beat who how many times?
So I quite like the indexes because I only had to get one for the 3 factions I have. Because I've got some Blood Angels, some Spaceballs, and now Ultramarines.
Are you podcasting on the highway?
I'm basically... Yeah, it's really warm. Okay, it's we've got the bit before the thunderstorm, and it is still boiling.
It's really
32 degrees, so I've got the window open onto the street. And that means there's like lorries.
Yeah, I had to close the window because I mean you're probably not hearing it because you weren't hearing it because Discord's cutting this out. But on the show later, people will hear the thunder on my end. I had to close the windows, otherwise I'd be deaf now. Anyway, sorry. Yes. So where were we? We only had to buy one index.
I only had to buy one index for
because you're so pure.
Because I have good armies that are good.
I only had to get one index, but that's just because I only have one army.
Where are the Custodes? Because you have been playing... Oh my god, someone's getting murdered outside.
I've been playing heresy stuff with the Custod.
Ah, okay. So that's...
Custodes are in Imperium 1, are they not? I think so.
No.
These names are not good. I can tell you that much. Like,
why?
Because nobody knows what's in Imperium 1 or 2. Like, there must have been
Index 1 and
or whatever, yeah. Like 1 and 2 is not the best. Like, you could have, like, I don't know, have something a bit more verbose.
Yeah, off the top of my head, 1 is power armor, 2 is plebs and...
Index power armor, index plebs. I love it.
Yeah, basically. So 1 is Eldar, Zeno 2 is the rest of them, and Index Chaos is Dark Angels.
Games Workshop should hire you. I like the way you approach things.
Yeah. Index Imperium 2 has Adeptus Custodes, the Inquisition, the Assassins, Sisters of Silence, the Sororitas, Adeptus Sororitas, Skitaris and Cult Mechanicus.
That's
the
Index
Instrumental Terram. Yeah, so Well, yeah, in pleb index plus custodes.
This is like
Yeah.
this show is amazing. This sounds like a war zone. People at there, it's like there's artillery going off at my end. They've been murdered by a motorbike. It's amazing. Yeah.
Oh,
So
I know why. I actually know why Thor is displeased, Fab.
why?
Forgot to say what we're drinking.
Oh no! Oh, of course.
Yes.
Cancel our show.
Oh,
no.
that's it. So what?
Let's all go home. Yeah.
I'll start. Pilsner Urquell. It's great because if I'm gonna die by lightning strike, I'm gonna die in style.
I've got a punk IPA because I am so rebellious that I buy my craft lagers from Tesco.
And you were an ultramarine.
Yeah, and it's blue. It's blue. It's pure.
I have a cup of tea that I made about an hour ago and I forgot about, so it's now cold, so I have nothing.
It's technically cold brew.
That's
At least you have a rule book.
If you still drink it, it's pretty hardcore.
And you
I
might.
just have a
Nah,
gin and tonic. Gin and tonic.
That's a good choice. Why
I
the
might drink
hell?
two schnapps.
Another topic. Why the hell can't Games Workshop ship this rulebook to me? So disappointing.
Yeah, I think you were caught in quite a bad situation there. Yeah, where you can't get to the shop, so shop orders out of question. Other dealerships weren't available either.
It's
as
kind of
far as
hard
I
in
can understand.
Germany. Yeah.
Yeah, and getting the English version counted against you as well.
Yeah, I actually.
Yeah.
I was even worse. Was it Nicholas, one of our listeners? He ordered it in Germany as well, and he ordered it to the shop. And he went to the shop, and his order hadn't gotten there. It wasn't there, but they had like everything, like they had everything he had ordered, but they wouldn't give it to him because it wasn't his order.
No, but I tell you, this stuff flew off the shelves like you cannot believe it. I went into Dublin to get my stuff, and in my youthful naivety.
Sorry, I think you cut out there. In your youthful naivety, you did what?
Yeah, I'm really sorry, guys. Discord is not liking me.
It's good. It's all good.
I had assumed that I would get certain rules in the Dark Imperium box set, like for all Space Marines.
Right.
And then I had ordered the Xenos Compendium. You know, obviously Tyranids and the cults and all that. So I was like, give me Dark Imperium. And then they had this bundle offer in the stockist that I went to, where you could get an index and you could get some tactical cards and €20 discount or something. So I asked for the Xenos 2 index and tactical cards, and then the Dark Imperium. I went in and picked up my stuff, and then I went straight to a cafe and sat down and started reading. And then I realized, oh.
So you cut out again. You realized, oops.
It's only for Primaris Marines.
What?
That I know.
In the box set?
In the box set, it's only for Primaris Space Marines. So this is they're following the business model now, Fab. So I got exactly the data sheets for the models that I bought.
Right.
Really
and then I was like, oh, flippin', beep, 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 beep. I don't actually have a hard copy of the second most important index, which is for all my other Space Marines at home. And then I walked around Dublin.
Oh. And did you get it? Did they still have it?
No, it was totally and utterly gone. Like in the Games Workshop itself, they only had 3 Chaos books left. Everything else had been flown off the shelves. And in the other dealership where the stockist that I'd already ordered from, they had stuff sitting as well, but it was all ordered to specific people, right? So they knew exactly how many they had.
That's
I'm gonna change the mic here.
Right.
But anyway, so that's the thing. Like you in the last week or so, you have not been able to get this for love nor money in hard copy unless you ordered it.
Well, it's okay. Like I understand, like that's okay. I understand that they sold it out and everything, and I understand that's what pre-ordering is for, and I'm okay with pre-ordering. It's like this is fucking 2017. Can't they just fucking send it out before? It's not like they were keeping it secret. They were blogging all the fucking rules. They were sending out copies to everybody with a fucking YouTube channel or a blog, like weeks before. And then, it's so annoying. They hype everything, and then they can't, like, they completely hype you up, and then you're like, oh yeah, I pre-ordered. Like, I'm a good fanboy. I've got it all lined up, and then you don't get it.
Yeah. So you should have advertised the podcast to Games Workshop many moons ago, to say we're gonna review this.
This is all because Dave didn't go to Warhammer Fest and didn't buy Tom Walton a beer. This is it. That's it. Tom went. Fuck Fab in particular. No, he didn't. He's a nice guy.
I know what it is. Tom knows you play Dark Angels, and and Heretics always get stuff last.
Fuck all of you. No, actually they don't. They got all, like the Games Workshop was posting on Facebook that they're getting the Primaris, like Dark Angels as the like first legion, which we are, got like one of the first batches of Primaris Marines. Which
in the Dark Imperium book, what I have read, the fiction one from Guy Haley, there's a Dark Angel guy in there who's a Primaris Marine. It's just like not even mentioned as like a big deal. It's just a guy. So
I don't know. I don't think the line would stand for this shit, for the messing with the sacred genes and everything.
He's not around.
Yeah. He's around.
Dave's got you there.
He's around. He's just like not awake. But
yeah, just,
I mean, it's not like Azrael would. The thing I don't get is like I actually I tweeted Gav Thorpe because I want to know if he's gonna write books about this, but apparently he isn't. So somebody else will. I don't know, which is a bit sad. But like I don't just see. I have a problem like figuring the Dark Angels going. Oh yeah, let's take some new Marine guys from Rubute that don't know about the fall, right? And like don't have all our secrets and just welcome them in, with all our indoctrination we usually do for like 100 years.
That is somewhat of a problem, but in the lore, it is kind of like just established that Primaris Marines are objectively better at fighting stuff. Like, they are just way better.
Yeah, but we're not Ultramarines. It's not about, like, optimizing everything. This is a chapter with soul, and personality. And what about the bikes? We're going to need bigger bikes.
It's true, they're going to need bigger bikes.
For the
They're going to have get, trikes, maybe?
They have trikes. They're just going to need bigger trikes as well.
Glue 2 trikes together, maybe, and straddle one foot on each.
Just have the Raven Guard all riding rhinos instead of bikes.
That'd be so good. Joe, you played a game. What did you play?
I did play a game.
What did you play with? Who did you play against? Where did you play?
I played the new 40k. I played Orcs because that's all I own for 40k. And I just took loads of mega armored knobs and filled up other bits that were basically designed to get objectives and die. And I was against the new Plague Marines, which the models are stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Are these Primaris sized?
They're in Mark III armor, if that helps.
They are bigger, but you only get 7 actual power armored dudes in it.
Yeah, you get quite a few of the zombie lads and the plague drone.
Yeah, they were also a bit bigger, weren't they? Also because they're like bloated and shit.
Yeah, but the Plague Marines have always been a bit bigger and bloated and stuff. But yeah, they did seem bigger than normal Space Marines, definitely. But yeah, it turns out with the new rules that multiple damage attacks are rubbish against hordes, which is really nice.
In what way? Why? Explain. I'm done.
So if you have like an attack that does one, like it hits once, but it'll do D3 damage.
Yeah.
If you roll 3 on that damage against a single model, with only 1 wound. The other 2 just disappear. You just kill that guy really hard. It doesn't splash over into the other models in the unit. So I had my Mega Nob that was doing like 3 damage per hit to the Plague Marines. Sorry, not the Plague Marines, to the Zombie Lads. And it was doing 3 damage to each of them, and only 1 was dying each time. So yeah, but he couldn't. The last guy, my last Mega Nob, stood there staring down a single zombie for about 3 turns, doing nothing. But yeah, it was good. It was good fun. It was a lot quicker, a lot smoother. It was very. It took me minutes to pick up because it's very AOS-like, but it keeps a lot of the feeling of 40k. You still get the shooting. You still have to think about your charges. So yeah, it was good. The biggest change I found was now if you charge something and it overwatches, you can overwatch as many times as things charge it.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I had 3 things charging the Plague Marines and they shot at them all.
So how does the Overwatch kind of like work? Like, do you have to like in the round before declare it as overwatching?
No, just when something
charges.
Just
by default things get Overwatch. Yeah. That's legit. Okay.
And I don't know if you mentioned this, Joe, but the exciting part about Overwatch now is since they have removed template weapons.
What?
You can. What? No, sorry, they've removed the templates for what was previously template weapons. So now you just have a number of attacks. So that means you can actually fire with your missile launchers with frag grenades or flamers and things like that in Overwatch, which makes it a bit more daunting to charge down on a line with close combat troops that have a few flamers or whatever. It's going to hurt.
I'm selling my 15 burner boys.
You'll be looking for them, I think, very shortly because the good old flamer, I think, is actually coming back as a really potent weapon now because it hits automatically.
Yeah.
So basically,
I hear plasma guns explode a lot.
That's potentially
which is another prejudice against Dark Angels, of course.
It's good to so when you're building your army, you can choose to take formations, which give you command points, which you can spend on things during the game. And one of the things that saved my opponent's Plasma Marine guy was the max command points on rerolls. And so when his plasma,
so you cut out there when his plasma, when his plasma what?
When his plasma gun exploded in his face, he used one of his command points to re-roll that, so it then didn't explode in his face, which was disappointing.
And on command points, actually, it's important to say now that if you construct your army following the Battleforge method, where you put them into proper detachments, let's say you follow sort of the faction building and so on, that it's a proper structured army, you potentially have many more command points than your opponent that might have chosen to do have sort of strange auxiliary troops with them as allies or whatever. Because if you use that, there's a very limited ability now to take sort of curveball units into an army. And if you do use the auxiliary attachment for that, it takes away command points from your army.
-1 per unit, right?
Yeah. So it kind of makes sense because obviously if you put in a group of mercenaries in your army, the control and sort of overview you have would probably reduce a bit, right?
So it's now it's like it's harder to have like a tower in your Ultramarine army or whatever.
Well, you can't.
It's not harder to do. You're just punished more for doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you could. Yeah. So Joe, you could still have You could still have no. I don't think you could even have a unit now that's not part of the same faction in a Battleforged army.
Yeah, I don't know on that one, actually.
So there's like a chat today about that, and I think I left the conversation thinking that you could have can you hit 2 detachments in a list?
Yes, you can have as many detachments as you want, as long as they each in their detachment follow their rules for.
Yeah. So you could, if you took 2 detachments of things that didn't share keywords, potentially.
No, because in the first paragraph in the armies book for the Battleforce armies, I think it says they need to have at least 1 faction keyword in common.
So I don't think I read that bit. I just flicked straight to the War Scrolls.
So what's that? I have keywords like pure. Oh, for the
Yeah,
I'm gonna be like adding that keyword to all of my things.
Well, if we take the new Primaris Marines, for example, let's jump into our book of the stuff we ordered that have been delivered to us. The faction keywords for the Captain Gravis Armor is Imperium, Adeptus Astartes, and then Chapter. So the chapter will be whatever your army is. So as far as I read the rules, you cannot have other detachments in your Battleforged army that does not have at least 1 of these
they'd have to be Imperium at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Battleforged is opposed to what?
As opposed to open play, which is bring whatever you want.
Okay.
Or narrative. Yeah, let me see. Is narrative also? Because they have narrative play, which is the you have a story, but the armies might not necessarily be.
Yeah. So that would make sense if I have a story about like Dave's Ultramarines being stuck on a planet with some Tau. And
so it says here.
Arrive, then.
Narrative play can be further enhanced through the use of Battleforged armies. So, obviously, it gives you whatever scope you want to.
Right, and you could have Battleforged armies, but house rule that like one detachment is Tau, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or no, then you just do narrative play using open army.
Yeah, but what I mean is like you could use the other, like the Battleforged thing as a guideline. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. If you want to,
just ignore certain aspects of it.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly legal as long as your opponent agrees. Yeah.
I do like the way they've done the detachment-y things because you can get. I think there's one that you have to take 2 HQ and 3 troops that gives you 3 command points. But there are ones where you just have to take an HQ and say 3 elites or 3 fast attack or 3 heavy support, and they only give you 1. But it means you can build things like what I've got, where I've got a few HQ but a load of mega knobs, which are elites. So I can't fill out the troops as easy if I'm using them. I can still get a command point for having some sort of structure to my army, which is fun.
The question about that is like when holding objectives, what's the important thing now?
Having more stuff.
It's just units that hold objectives, or does it have to specifically be a type?
I think it's just units, but I don't think I read that bit properly.
Yeah, because I'm going down the kind of more elite kind of take at least 3 units of elite stuff, and then I was
suddenly like, you fucking smurf.
Well, it's because I'm taking Stern Guard. Because they're cool and they're great, and then that means
Smurfs.
And then I was like, oh my god, what if they can't hold objectives? But that's just because I'm stupid.
Yeah, no, I think they're fine. I had Mega Knobs taking objectives. As I say, I didn't read the rules for the actual missions properly, but it works.
So how did you win, or did?
No, I got stomped. I put my grots were holding objectives and got run over by the really quick moving bloat drone thing, and my Meganobs wandered over to the chaff and got bogged down in them because D3 wounds on a single model is pointless. And I put my shooter boys into combat, which was stupid, and they actually rinsed through everything. But if I'd have left them with pistols and a close combat weapon, the close combat weapon gives them an extra attack in close combat, and the pistols can be fired in close combat too, which is awesome. So I failed on that, and my war boss charged his big stompy boss dude and got insta-gibbed from the first turn, smacked him in the face, and he just went, "No, you're dying," and killed him.
Super.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Congratulations.
I kind of lost hard.
Yeah, close combat is back in a big way, I think.
Oh yes.
Because you can do the follow-up move, which they had taken out in previous. I think it was in there in maybe 4th or 5th or something edition.
It was actually in 7th, but it was a D3 move after you'd finished combat or something, and it didn't do much.
Yeah, and you couldn't charge into another battle, wasn't it?
No.
Just sort of moved away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But pistols being able to use in combat makes a big difference as well.
And did you try out, Joe, the way now that's you roll I think it's like a morale test after close combat if you've had losses?
Yeah, so I'm used to doing that from Age of Sigmar, and it's a much nicer way of doing it because it's not a binary I win or lose, and then if I fail this roll I just risk losing everything in the sweeping advance. You lose, like, I think I lost 9 out of 20 orcs, and because the orcs have a rule that they take their leadership as the amount of as the number of models in the unit, so I only actually lost 1 or 2 after that combat, whereas in the old rules I'd have just lost them all. They'd have just all died.
Yeah, so it's the difference between your morale level and how you fail the roll. That's the amount of
no.
units you lose or models you lose. Sorry, or I can't.
It's the difference between your leadership and the number of models you lost that turn plus d6. So if you've got a leadership of 7 and you lost 1 model, then the most you can roll on that is 6 and 1, so 7, so you don't lose anything. But say if you lost like 10 models and you've got a leadership of 4, you're rolling your d6 and adding, so it'll be whatever. So the maths, it'll be 10 minus 4 plus whatever you get on the d6. So you could lose most of the rest of your unit if you roll really badly and you've lost it already. So it does.
But as you say, it's not a sort of sorry they all ran away and got stomped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You actually have a chance to do something about it now.
Yeah.
And nice thing is as well that you don't have to take models off the front anymore, which means that it's easier to actually get things into combat again afterwards. So, random train of thought there.
Huh. Sounds. You really like it?
Yeah, I do. I actually enjoyed it more than I do Age of Sigmar. And
wow, I do really like that. We know that.
Yeah, I've gone off it a bit at the moment, but that's not a fault of the game. That's more because I've just been playing X-Wing all the time. So yeah, but I really like Age of Sigmar, but this is kind of like Age of Sigmar in a setting I have more affinity with, and with more shooting, and you get to go pew 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 more. It's hard to make bow and arrow noises. It's less fun.
Yeah, and did you already discuss how they've basically just taken away armor values of
Nope.
of tanks and so on? So now everything has a hit point value. So there's nothing about did you hit from the side or the back or blah blah blah. It's just there's a hit point value. So vehicles and sort of large creatures and so on have the same kind of mechanic when you attack them. And they've also I look at my Land Raider here, which is a Land Raider Crusader, which hasn't been used much because I think in 7th edition vehicles were quite paper thin sometimes. I mean, if they got hit by the right thing, they could potentially just blow up, even if it was a big behemoth of a thing that could probably, in theory, take a bit of a beating before it would explode. But
I have a Crusader here too, by the way.
Oh, awesome! Because now, you probably remember some of the stats, right? So you had a twin link assault cannon, and you had the hurricane bolters, and maybe a missile on and a storm bolter or something.
You're asking me? I've never used this in a game. It just looks good in them.
Before you would have had, I think it was 4 shots off the twin linked assault cannon that you could re-roll because it was twin linked.
Right.
And then maybe 6 or 10 shots or something like that with the hurricane bolters, and then 2 shots with the storm bolter, something like that. But now you have 12 shots of the twin linked assault cannon. Okay, you don't get the reroll, but and there's 12 shots again with the hurricane bolters, and because they're fire, is that how it is? I think if you're within 12 inches rather than 24 inches, you can double up on that. You can shoot again. So all of a sudden you have massive amounts of shots of one of these things, which is how it was designed to be. It's a close combat tank, designed to go very close, fire 40 shots, into the battle line, and then unleash the Terminators into the maelstrom of war, right? That's how it should be used. And now it has 16 hit points. I can't remember the toughness, but it is now the juggernaut that it was supposed to be. And I am gonna paint that up and get it on the table because this will be fun. While before you were a bit oh, I don't know, because I put it on and then cannon and it's gone. But it's not gonna be like that in this version here. They're properly balanced, I think. Of course, I haven't read every single data sheet for every single vehicle, but just looking at that, I was like, right, okay, this actually makes sense now.
Cool. I got mine painted up. It's ready.
Yeah, you should definitely just get it front and center and just smash into the lines of the heretics in front of you.
The Ultramarines. Yeah, sure.
You've been reading my tactics book, haven't you?
Yeah, it's smash into the heretics.
Doing it, yeah. Just drive at people and hope they die.
Sounds good.
In true orc fashion, that is it's the only strategy. Just full speed ahead. Yeah.
Well, the other strategy is the grot strategy, but that's no fun.
The one?
The grot strategy, which is let the orcs run in and stay at the back cowardly.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And then under threat of immediate execution to bring a few more shells forward to the front line.
Meanwhile, Dave is sitting there all pure with the book, still working out the master plan.
Well, Dave, you should probably talk a little bit about Dark Imperium, the book.
Yeah.
To paint a little bit of color onto this black and white purity that we are accusing you of.
It's a bit more blue and red, but
it's really good. I finished that the other day, and it's kind of like the one that's, and it's kind of like has the feel of those books they sort of release around the time of new editions to sell all the models. Except it's really good. It's set about 120 years after the sort of Gathering Storm stuff. So not Gathering Storm. When Roberta came back.
On a motorbike, apparently.
The motorbike just came back.
The Raven Wing is after you for all the bad things you said about us.
And it's wrapping up the sort of Indominus, called the Indominus Crusade, a big crusade to kind of take back bits, and then Mortarion is sort of pottering about trying to mess things up. and sort of like that's the kind of battle that's going on. It's sort of set up to be a bit of a series. There's going to be some more books because I tweeted like, where can I get more? And apparently there's another 2 books in the works. So it's kind of going on about like how Mortarion is trying to like basically just like kick Ultramar's ass, whereas Rebooted is coming along being like, you know what, we're going to make it good. We're going to make it good again because he's woken up. He's pissed off that everyone is worshipping the Emperor, and he's like, mate, this isn't the point. But then he's also kind of like a bit grumpy, being like, the Emperor lied to us. Like he should have told us all about the warp and stuff. Like there's also like him thinking about like how he's kind of like how the Primarchs were always kind of tools to get the job done. The Emperor didn't necessarily care. And then he's sort of like reflecting on that's basically what he's doing with Space Marines, is that he's using them to kind of achieve his goals of making Ultramar great again, restore the 500 worlds.
Growing up.
Build a wall. No, that's Imperial Fist, sorry.
But there's lots of kind of cool
Make
bits
the
where
orcs pay for it.
There's like some cool bits where he's like rocking up and being like, well, I am literally the word of the Emperor right now. No one can say anything against me, not even the Imperium. These worlds are part of Ultramar. I don't care what you say. They're part of Ultramar. They always were. They are again now. And he just like does that kind of stuff. He also kind of like hires a kind of cool kind of preacher dude, because even though he's sort of like anti the
Adeptus Ministorum.
Yeah, he's kind of anti that whole thing, but he kind of recognizes that it's a useful tool. So again, him kind of like doing some machination stuff. It's a really fun read. It kind of ends quite abruptly in a kind of like, oh sweet, we won the battle, because you sort of get to like 80% through and think, oh my god, it's reaching the climax, but there's so much stuff to wrap up, and you're like, oh god, okay, it's a series. It's a solid book. Was much more satisfied in length versus price compared to that than like the Beast of Rises stuff.
That I was going to ask about that, because that's why I stopped buying the Beast of Rises stuff, because
it felt like a decent read for the price. It wasn't over in like an evening. I picked it up on the Black Library store. It was weird because like apparently people were saying the iBooks version of it was like it had a different release date than the Black Library ebooks, which was really weird. But would definitely recommend it. Like I don't really want to spoil it because there's just some cool bits. You get to see Primaris Marines being that, and then kind of like dealing with them being a bit weird and having no mates, that their only mates are other Primaris Marines, and everyone sort of treats them differently. And
they're heretics.
Also talked about how they're also quite confused by like the 41st Millennium, because lots of them were like heresy era, heresy, pre-heresy kind of Marines that then buggered off for 10,000 years. So they're all a bit like, religion, what's happening here?
Have they been, because I haven't got to this part if it says in the book, but have they been sort of frozen in cryo caskets or something like that? Or
they were basically frozen and kind of like worked on during that time.
Right.
So they remembered.
Holy shit! Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
The Emperor is not pleased.
No. Sorry, go on. That was loud.
Yeah, as they're kind of like worked on, so they remember. They remember the Great Crusade, and I think some of them remember the triumph of Ulanor, and like a similar thing happens at the end of the Indominus Crusade. And it kind of feels like the Imperium 2.0, in that like Guilliman wants to just do it all again, but better after he's learned all the mistakes from last time round.
Shouldn't that be 3.0?
Yeah, okay. We don't really know how many times.
We do not talk about that.
Yeah, good point. It even mentions that bit. Is a bit where he talks about how much McCragg had changed, and like there's like, and there's the bit that Sanguinius sat as emperor for a bit, but I probably shouldn't tell everyone about that.
And you're calling us traitors, you fucking hypocrites.
Awkward
Have you not got that far in the heresy, Fab?
No, I haven't. I know
Oh,
roughly
man.
what happens, but like
You'll love that.
Yeah, in the part of the book that I've read so far, that part really made me chuckle. Like where, Roboute Guilliman of all Primarchs is sort of standing there going like, I think I'll just close this door again, and where's the lock? And
there's the
sort of
it's like the big library of Macaque where all the history is, because he's basically like going through all the Imperial records and be like, that didn't happen like that, fucking bullshit, bollocks. So he kind of closes the door on it, and he's like, someone asks him, you're the man of learning and you spend all your time writing the authoritative history of the Imperium, why have you locked the door to the library? And he's like, because there's lots of stuff that's wrong in there, and there's also lots of stuff that makes it look like we did a bad thing. Please, no one bother reading up about what we did, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot.
That's a pretty shitty way of hiding history. When you're a Dark Angel, that's not how you do it, mate. We can help. We can help you out.
We look forward to seeing opening your libraries and the vaults and whatever's in the basement down there that I can hear shaking the chains from time to time. You
can try.
On.
You can try. You'll have to move through the Death Wing.
Yeah.
I finished one Terminator now.
Yeah, I saw you'd finally finished that guy. I remember you painting. I think you were painting him in London.
Yeah, it's from the Dark Vengeance box. Yeah. Took me a while. How did you call it, Mike? Long haul Midge.
We do long haul assembly and modeling of models. That's what we do. It's our thing. I mean, I have stuff here that's 15.
It's older than Dave.
20 years old. It's I have stuff sitting here that's still is not complete after many years.
Still the assembly stuff that I like race through, and I really enjoy doing, and painting just takes so long.
Assembly is great fun. I really enjoy that.
No, I'll argue with you there. During this, I have been scraping mold lines from 60 Ogre Noblars.
Before the show, I was.
I really like that. I do that while doing watching TV and shit.
What do you use to take the mold lines off? What do you use to take the mold lines off?
I use the GW mold line removal.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was going to say you should use the mold line removal tool because it makes it really easy.
You should do that more often while you're podcasting with us.
Yeah. No, these models are horrible and fiddly and ridiculously detailed for what I just chaff models, and there's 60 of the bastard things, and they're so old. The mold lines are like an inch thick.
Well, but we're enjoying you doing podcasting while you do that.
Yeah, I'm enjoying doing podcasting while I'm doing this.
You should probably turn around. Yeah. I want to do some fault lines. Okay, I'll podcast while I do it.
I think I could actually, now that you say that, I can hear you going like.
I've been wondering whether there's anyone that had been able to hear that. But really,
I don't. Yeah, this.
Damn thing's done.
It's less intrusive than the fucking thunder over here.
or Dave's Raven Guard.
Yeah, they're just driving around him in a circle now.
Thinking of cool things that I painted. I did 5 Death Corps Krieg guys because I got given those for birthday or something at university.
The Death Corps of War.
And I assembled them the day I got them, and then 2 years passed, and I decided I should probably paint these guys because they're really cool. And that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. And because of Shadow War stuff, I need to pick up another box, and then I have enough to do a usable thing rather than just these are 5 pretty people. I can just pick up some 5 or 10 more guys, and then bam, that's an actual thing what I can play a game with, which would be cool because I've got my Grey Knights ready to roll. I've got a date set. I play some Shadow War at some time. So.
I can't get behind this whole having things unpainted and sat around unbuilt mindset. I know exactly what I've got that is unpainted and what needs painting and stuff, and I plan to do it, and no plans to buy other stuff. It's really weird.
But you're fucking good at painting as well.
Yeah, but I'm fucking slow at painting too.
Well, I'm slow as shit.
Yeah, I'm not that slow at painting.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't
that-
I just do it for relaxation, basically, So.
Yeah.
And Fab's not a very relaxed person.
No, I've
so.
not enough time to relax. That's one of the
No,
problems.
that custode I was putting pictures up of the other day is still not really progressed at all since those pictures.
So you also paint in sub-assemblies, right? Jen, I think.
Rarely.
Oh, okay.
This one I am because I can't do it in full assemblies. But for all my last, the last full army that I did with the Warhammer Ogres was all full models. The undead I've got have been all full models mostly. Unless it's too complicated to paint fully, I don't. I just paint it fully.
Okay.
It's because you are reasonable.
Because now that I'm like looking at 10 guys and then probably another 10 guys and then more stuff, I'm thinking sub-assemblies are kind of a pain, but I'm trying to work out the minimum kind of assemblage I can do to make everything accessible. So I don't know. I'm torn because
So what I've done on the custodes is the weapons in their hands are attached to the arms with plastic glue.
right.
But the arms are joined at the shoulders with super glue. So I
Okay.
can just pop the shoulders off when I'm actually painting them. So I can use the models to play with. And then when I want to paint, because the shields are massive and cover the whole body, I just pop the arms off and then just paint it in sub-assembly.
So you use like a little dot of super glue and then just pop it off.
Yeah.
when you paint.
It's super glue, so you can get away with a fair bit. I use Gorilla Glue gel. It's really good, but it does mean you can just pop it off afterwards.
Cool. I'll give that a go because it's always like that I want to have out of the way because they cover the chest and I want to do like a decent.
So
job
you
of-
cut out there. What do you want to have out? The bolters?
Yeah, the weapon arms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then if you have those just like lying around, they're a real pain to paint on their own.
Yeah, so that's the approach that I'm taking with it, and that's what annoyed me. It's taking me a long time to work out how to do that, to do that.
Fair.
But it just makes life so much easier just not having them on and having them glued on. I mean, this for the listeners, I'm doing a Custodes army in non-metallic metal, which means I'm not using any metallic paints. It's all trying to get smooth blendings, pretty much from black to white through a metallic-looking colour. And it takes flipping ages. And if I wasn't gluing all my army together, I just wouldn't be able to use the army for about 8 years.
It does look really, really good though.
Do you have pictures somewhere?
Yes, they're on my Twitter and stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay, right, I've seen them. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to take me probably at least 2 years to get through this army, and that's only 22 models or something.
Is that like an actual entire army then?
That is 2,500 points of heresy. Yeah.
Okay, I did not realize how many points each of those was.
Yes, lots. That one model, when he's finished, will be 10% of my army. No, over 10% of my army. Yeah.
So that's the nice thing about so I've got with 8th edition, I've managed to get quite a lot of the people from university into or back into 40k, and we're kind of going to do a 1,000-point thing hopefully soon. 1,500 points. But the nice thing about having Rabute is that he's 360 points, just flat. I'm like, well, that's a third of my army done. Tick.
You will have to paint him really well, though, right? To be really pure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm giving it a go. I'm going to paint it. So actually, himself is fine. I'm like, I've got an idea how I'm doing that. I'm doing metallic metals because I'm a baby.
It's not. One isn't better than the other. I just hate the gloopy metallic paints.
I quite like them because they just go on nicely. And they're just they stick.
It's like painting with mayonnaise or something.
What I'm not looking forward to is the base because it's just terrain and it's complicated. I don't know how to paint terrain. And there's a plague marine, and then that's a whole nother world of things. Like, there's like a dead plague marine in the base.
What?
Terrain is easy. You paint it grey and dry brush it white. The plague marine is easy. You paint it white and then just put washes on it.
Okay. I'm liking this advice. That sounds good.
No, I'd love to get my hands on some of the plague marines to paint. You just prime it white and then just play about with washes and glazes and stuff. Inks. You don't bother with any proper paints.
I have a question, Joe. What's that thing you have your models on? It's got like a metal thing. Yeah.
It's fantastic. It means I don't have to, if you're trying to hold the model upside down and paint it, it means I don't have to touch the model.
What is that?
It's just a model holder. It's a German company, I think, called PK Pro. They had a Kickstarter recently for an improved version of it.
How do you spell that?
PK-Pro.
Huh. Okay, yeah.
They're really super useful. I bought it a couple of years ago, and it's great for if I'm just doing rank and file models, I don't bother with it. But for things like that, it just means I don't have to fondle the model and wear it off and get my greasy fingers all over it and stuff while I'm painting.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're really good.
I'm just looking.
One for the show notes.
Yep, I'm just looking at their stuff. They have so many things that I can't find the model holder. But yeah, it's wow.
I will try and think it is under something like model holder, but in German it's probably Model Holden.
Model the holder for the model. Yeah, the holding for the model. Holding the model fast and the model can't move. Right, I'll find it. It's there at pk-pro.de.
Yeah.
Cool.
And actually, talking about Rubude, he's a good example of how I see the game being now, as we were talking about the factions earlier, right? So he has special rules that confers various things, but his special rule gives Imperium models whatever advantage it is, while on Space Marine level it's for chapters. So it makes sense that a Rubude model, will be expensive and difficult to get into your army, but if you do have it, then you can have an army that comprises of a lot of different Empire factions. So the price tag just does justify if you want to make an army that's not just Space Marines or Primaris Marines or whatever.
I have bad news, by the way, just quickly. Der miniature holder is not available now.
Oh no.
It's probably because they're shipping the ones from the Kickstarter, so they'll probably get the new version up when they finish shipping those.
Right, I'll put it in the show notes anyway. So how expensive is Robot?
Robot, it comes in the box set, the Triumvirate of the Primarch. So that's Voldus and Cypher.
Yeah.
And the Reboot, and it's like 55 quid direct from Games Workshop, but less obviously if you order it from.
So you get all the assholes of the galaxy,
all the
Robot
great lads
and Cypher, and okay. But how expensive is he points wise? I think Mike was talking points wise, right?
So 360 points, and as far as I can tell, there's no customizations. You can't take more stuff with him.
Well, it's fucking Robot. He's not customizable. He is.
Well, you could I don't know.
Pure.
I want to know if you can go in a tank or something. Can I get a dedicated transport for him? So.
Tank butt.
Nobody's dedicated transport can be as good as Dawn's. In the Heresy rules, Dawn's dedicated transport is a Thunderhawk.
That's good. The new kits look nice. The new Thunderhawk kits look good.
I'm doing a commission job for mate's Imperial Fist Army, and I'm trying to convince him to get a Thunderhawk. You need to paint. I'll just do that free. If you buy a Thunderhawk, I will paint it.
I think the line just walks. It's not none of this fancy crap.
Doesn't he have like a jet skateboard or something?
Jet skateboard.
They got all the anti-grav stuff.
Yeah, they have like true. One of the chapter. Isn't that the Ravenwing Master has like a floaty
jet
bike? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a jet bike. Probably nicked off Custode with Tracer.
Yeah, sounds good. I don't know. I just don't know. Sorry.
We're quite excited about it all, really, aren't we?
Yeah, except me because I don't have the fucking book.
Oh, Fab.
Poor guy.
You're kind of the worst person they could not have sent this to. You know,
Yeah.
it's really like.
I'm looking outside and I think the post office is burning something. Doesn't look good outside.
You can smell the printed paper.
Yeah.
The finely printed paper with all the beautiful pictures in it.
Of Girly Man.
The books smell so good. Like they smell really, really good. I opened them straight away, and it was like, oh my god, I'm 12 again. This is
Fuck you all.
I was impressed with the quality of the data sheets in the Dark Imperium box. It's printed really quite nice paper, really well.
I suppose they got like the hang of kind of. So I watched. I think it's Frontline Gaming, the YouTube channel. They had like a game with some guy from Games Workshop with long hair who was really into it, but he called it a boxed game, like the Horus Heresy ones, which I thought was quite telling. Is that they've had a lot of practice now of releasing these kind of like games in a box. All the rules you need for the miniatures are in the box. Have at it, kind of thing. Which I mean, I've only seen the box in store. I've not picked one up myself because I don't feel like I really need it. But it seems like you could plausibly just get this and play with it, and like that could be your 40k. It's just you bought the Dank Imperium box, and then that was it.
But there's no Dark Angels in there.
Yeah, but that's fine. Like someone might just be like, "This is enough for me."
No.
Like,
Fab, we need two opposing sides, not two chaos sides fighting each other. You know, just get with the program, man.
Oh.
you could paint them up as Dark Angels, man.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they don't have robes, man. Need robes.
Actually, there aren't enough robes. That's the thing about assembling the Stern Guards is that they've got a lot of robes. Like they are very on point with their robe game.
But do they have hoods?
They don't have hoods,
See?
unfortunately.
That's
Toga
all
guards.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, go ahead, Dave.
I've taken the kind of like rule of cool, and they're all not wearing helmets because I mean they're veterans. They're good. They're competent. They don't need helmets.
I'm still on this PK Pro site, and they're carrying cases for miniature minis are called Feldherr.
Feldherr, yeah. I have Feldherr in
my Feldherr
box.
bag. Feldherr backpack.
What the fuck? I don't get this.
Feldherr is German for
Feldherr. It means warlord.
Yeah, warlord. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's a warlord bag.
So it's not
really
KR
close to
multi-case soft foam to protect you.
No, it's the Feldherr.
To protect the soft
It's the
foam.
Feldherr.
Yeah.
It's you win because it sounds badass.
I've come across them before. You see them a lot for X-Wing stuff because they're small. You can get nice compact ones, but I never realised that's what it meant.
See, cool. you learned something on the show.
Occasionally.
It's amazing.
So Fab, you need Primaris Interceptor squads, Inceptor squads in your life.
Why?
Because they are basically assault marines.
Oh, they're the hovering guys with the.
Well, they have these really really cool hover packs or flight packs. So they can be inserted from high altitude. When they land, they make like a power attack just from touching down because it's kind of a crashing into the foe kind of. And then they have these. What is it, assault boulders? I think they're called. So, let's see what they're called here. Assault boulders, yeah. So they have 3 shots each of strength 5, -1 penetration. And then they have that meteoric descent rule.
That sounds good. I like the sound of that.
So they can come in. So we'll see. They can arrive on the battlefield at the end of any of your movement phases, and then you can set them up anywhere, which is 9 inches from any enemy model. And then they have the heavy jump packs, so the sheer impact of a charging Inceptor can break through walls and shatter bones. Roll a dice each time an Inceptor finishes a charge, move within 1 inch of an enemy. On the 6, that unit suffers a mortal wound. So a mortal wound is now the unsavable thing that you can't. You basically have to take it. There's no save that you can employ against the mortal wound.
Breaking walls.
So, breaking walls, exactly.
Like
so
that.
Yeah.
Do you not get invulnerable saves against them?
I think mortal wounds are not even. You can't even use your invulnerable saves.
Okay. Because I know that there are some ways around mortal wounds. Like the Death Guard have a thing that every time you take a wound from any source, you ignore it on a 5-up or something. That goes around it. But yeah, you don't get normal armor saves and stuff against mortal wounds.
Mortal wounds, page 181.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck you all. Fuck you all.
Yeah, because they used, I think they had in the previous version quite a few sort of different ways of doing, I shall smite thee and thee shall be smoten, sort of disintegration and devastator and double toughness and all these kind of things. But now it's just sort of, as far as I can see, summarized into this mortal wound mechanic.
Do not make a wound roll or a saving throw, including invulnerable saves, against a mortal wound. Just allocate it as you would any other wound and inflict damage to a model in the target unit as described above.
Reading mind.
Get fucked.
Yes.
I still think things like the Death Guard thing, every time you take a wound, or I think it says every time you take a wound or mortal wound, you ignore it on a 5-up or something.
I mean, that sounds plausible. That's like a special.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. There are ways around them, but mortal wounds are things in Age of Sigmar as well. And that's what got my Mega Boss, because the mortal wounds, he could ignore wounds on a 5-up that I did to him, but my Mega Boss, you punch him in the face enough times, he doesn't have anything that ignores mortal wounds and stuff. He just dies. But anyway, sorry, yeah, you're saying about the Interceptor guys. Are they hovered units? Are they actually flying?
They're actually flying, yeah.
Well, are they actually flying? Like, do they have to move? Like, do they have to move? I have the rules. I could probably check this.
Yes. I just remember reading the different Primaris ones, and I think the Lieutenants and the Inceptors are the ones that I really that caught my eye anyway. Because the Lieutenants, obviously that's, for Space Marines anyway, is something completely new. Hang on, a lieutenant? What? We just have captains and sergeants. What's this? A lieutenant?
They have the fly keyword.
There you go.
I like this keyword. It's turning it into like Magic the Gathering, like in a kind of like things have keywords, and that helps like game design. Kind of like you can identify what effects apply to what things based on their keywords, which I dig.
Well, there were keywords before, I guess, but there were things like infantry and jetpack infantry. But they were, because there were so many of them, and they were so awkward and ungainly to check up and use and stuff. I think that's the biggest change. They've just removed so much of the bloat.
Yeah, because when I did the 7th edition gaming there recently, the first battle I did went pretty well because I won, and it was against Chaos, so Chaos Space Marine, so it was a fairly balanced game.
What were you playing?
I played my Ultramarines, of course.
Of course.
Yes.
So wholesome.
Yes, but the thing was, both my opponent and me, we sort of spoke afterwards, and it came down to decisions, tactical decisions, and I think we both agreed that made the outcome. And in the second one, I played against Eldar, and a guy that had completely cheesed the Eldar rules to the max with jet bikes. Basically, most of his infantry were on bikes. And the way the rules worked was that he could zip around the field pretty much 48 inches, do his fly over, shoot, fly away again. If you entered into close combat, he could just fly away as well. And he just ran circles around me, and I lost everyone. It was annihilation, And he said afterwards, listen, I'm sorry doing this to you, but the rules actually say that I can do it, and he was perfectly within his rights of doing what he did, but it was clear as daylight that it was completely broken. Like nobody could do anything about this,
I like that. The rules say I can be a dick, so I'm going to be a dick. But sorry about it.
No, he wasn't like that. You know what I mean. That's like we had 2 days where we played, and he said the first day, I'm gonna bring out this army just to show you how broken it is. And stupidly, I signed up, thinking that I could maybe try and make a difference. And it sort of hung in the balance in first or second round, but after that, I would have had to have been extremely lucky to sort of get a few chinks in the armor where it would have hurt him on his Farseer or something like that. But yeah, he just ran circles around me, and I think now it's all been reset a bit, and as you say, the bloat or the sort of crazy stuff has been removed.
Well, I hope so anyway. So
yeah, I haven't read the Elder stuff yet, but the other stuff I've read.
Put themselves in a better position to be able to do that and crack down on the combos and stuff as well.
Now there is somebody who's pure.
Custodes?
Eldar, did you say? Or
Eldar. Yeah. Or what they're called now, the Eldari.
The Eldari, yeah. They snuck that in. Not a lot of people have commented on that, actually, but you can see how they're doing the Age of Sigmar thing with the...
I think Eldari is great. Drukari sounds like shit. That's a bad name. That sounds like something Blizzard came up with.
We don't like that, no.
Did you study what you say against the almighty Blizzard? That's pure. One of the first things I did after playing my 40k game was this is really, really fun. I wonder how good Harlequins are. We had Harlequins as well as Orcs when I was a kid. I was like, but that's another, will take me forever to paint army.
Oh, but think how well you could paint them. I would love to watch you slowly post photos on Facebook of that over 3 years.
No, I don't have the time or the money to do that.
But the thing is, like, if you had the skill to do Harlequin army, oh my god, like I'd do it. But I'm exactly like Dave. I just look at it and go like, oh my god, I can't do this justice. Just no. But they're so beautiful,
I reckon I could do that. I think it would be a bit like the Custodes are an experiment for me in a way for me to improve my painting again. But I think I could do a Harlequin army. It's just a matter of getting the time and the patience and to do it. But man, that'd be fun.
Just do it over 10 years, long haul.
Yeah, the long haul. Yeah,
that's what the Custodes are.
But I mean, Harlequins, the guardians of the Black Library, and just the pedigree they have in the canon, it's just Sorry, did I cut out there or did it?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. They're just one of the things you remember when you started the hobby.
Thanks. Yeah. Can we go back to taunting Fab and not having the book?
Did you feel pressure? We're expecting you to do a Harlequin army now.
They're kind of. I don't know. I've been reading the Eldar stuff in the Gathering Storm. I really like that. I've been thinking about an Eldar army, but then I look at my thing here, and I've still got like Terminators to paint, got Ravenwing to paint, got a whole Chaos army from the Dark Vengeance box set that is unpainted. It's all assembled and primed, but nothing else. And the thing is, I'm moving this like the third time now. Katie and me now signed like for the flat in Hamburg. So we're moving to Hamburg, and like I'm moving these unpainted models the second time now. I bought them in London. really gotta paint those first. Still got so much. I've kind of decided I would want to finish the stuff I have. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably good. Like I've been sort of mopping up bits that I've not had painted, and then I was like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna get Ultramarines and play with those shit.
Yeah, and then you went Smurf and.
Yeah. But as part of the kind of Ultramarine stuff, I picked up a Predator tank, and I'm going to try to magnetize that to have like interchangeable weapons.
Ah, cool.
So I don't glue it and then regret picking those. So.
I just magnetized the doors on my Land Raider.
I love magnetizing models. It's so satisfying. Just being able to pink the different weapons on when you're done. Just like, yeah, I'm good.
I find it really hard to do. It's I don't know.
I've got what I found the easiest thing is to have like exactly the right size diameter drill bit for the magnets that you're going to use. That's just the key.
Yeah, you need the right size drill bit, and to get them to line up properly.
Dab a bit of paint. Like do one, dab some paint.
Easier.
Oh, really?
That easier. Put a bit of blue tack. So drill one of your holes. Put a bit of blue tack on the other piece. And just wet it, so just a bit of water in your thumb or something, just over it, and then push it into place. Mm-hmm. And so the water stops the blue tack sticking to the other bit, but it leaves a nice, not indentation, outdentation, whatever, of where the hole is on the opposing bit, and then you can just put the drill bit into the big blob of blue tack, and you know exactly where it's going.
I don't have all the drill bits. I don't even have a rule book. I have a day off tomorrow. I'll be reading the book tomorrow.
You'll be queuing up at the post office at 8 a.m.
Well, it's Isernhagen, there's no queue, especially on a work day. If it hasn't burned down, that is, or it's flooded.
Well,
but I think.
Sorry, Karen.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely got my. I want to assemble, paint, and so on, reignited so much because you can only have so much time, obviously, and lately on the other shows we've done, we've talked about Elite or gaming and things like that, and I think I'm gonna prioritize this stuff now if I have time. And I don't know we haven't talked about this before, but would you consider doing, like the Tale of Four Warlords or whatever they call it in White Dwarf,
yeah, that would be cool.
Because you need a little bit of impetus, and motivation. I think is there in spades now because basically the game has been reset for everybody. It doesn't matter what you did before. The game is new. All the factions have been reset. You can. This is the time to just get back into it.
I like that idea.
Never get the chance,
We could do that in like a podcast format.
Something like that.
And I don't have to write shit down.
Yeah, because obviously we're talking about the long haul, so it's not going to be you must have an army in a month, but
you must have an army in a year, more like it.
Yeah, but I mean, for our stage in life and available time and all that, maybe set a points limit or a power level limit, and say this is the sort of deadline or whatever, and then we follow how it goes.
I like that idea. You in, Pure Boy?
I'm in.
And just to not overflow with Ultramarine goodness on that, I will probably make my own chapter.
Do you have a name yet?
Yeah, well,
not
I
ready
had a
to
name.
share yet.
No, I had a name, and then I started looking at what I had sitting in boxes, and then I realized it had to be a different origin
Right.
background.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, for the ones that will be derived from the Ultramarine stock, I have the name of the Knights of the Tempest Cyanic. In short, the Knights Cyanic. Cyanic is just a fancy word for blue.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, I was thinking, where's that coming from? Okay, yeah, sure.
So, and then the other one is I have just decided, actually, within the last day, that I think I want to do a Blood Angels derived chapter.
Flash terrors.
No, none of those. I'm sorry. No established ones. I will make up my own. So
that's my favorite.
Blood Terrors.
Call them the Knights Rubinic.
Yeah, they might be knights as well, actually. So I kind of keep the theme because I have quite a lot of blue overcoat, or what's it called, blue base coated Marines, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna base coat them to something else.
Well, I got some tech Marine, like I got Dark Angels finished, but that wouldn't be right, would it? I could build out that army, or I could still do my my word bearers warband, which I only painted one Marine years ago, which isn't finished, which is kind of my we talked on Angels of Death. I explained to Dave. So my idea is to do word bearers that don't look like the word bearers these days, but they look more like Heresy era word bearers, like with gray armor, but towards the modern stuff, like with modern insignia, with the modern, like the burning skull, but still have like book stuff, and then have them be half, like the upper half red, but still gray armor.
Go for it, Fab.
So that they're like lost in the warp. I could still do that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Like
my rule book.
Keep with the theme.
They're like really pissed. Yeah. They come out of the warp and there's all the Primaris Marines around. They're like, they're bigger than us. Fuck them.
You are going to have to do them all without any books or anything on there, aren't you?
Why? Oh, because the books are lost. No, they were lost with the books. They turned up with the books. And I got it. I got the perfect spin. They're like really pissed off at the Ultramarines for messing with the Emperor's gene seed.
and blowing up one of their cities back in the Heresy. Yeah.
But they are the good guys, basically, now.
Yes, according to Fab. Yes. The bringers of the true words. Yeah.
The good guys according to the Dark Angel player. Yeah. Sure.
This sounds great. Yeah, definitely. I think there's some Heresy era pissed off word bearers. Some pure Ultramarines, and then some troubled Knights of Bloody Cannibalism, or something like that. And Joe,
I think Joe has his hands full with his custodies.
I know you'll do Harlequins. Come on. You want to?
I have no words at the moment. I'm going to end up doing this, aren't I? I hate you all.
Yeah, now you know how I feel the whole show.
I'm game for it, but it depends how quick I can get some commission stuff out of the way.
Well, it's okay. You can you just commit to it. Like, you can fail. It's all good.
No, I want to do it. As I say, I think it would be a good laugh. But it's just time. But I mean, as I say, the custodes are a slow burn project anyway.
Right.
So I'm in. Count me in.
Hey,
Awesome,
there
yes.
you go. There you go. But
you-
remember, it is the long haul, so there's no shame in doing long haul assembly and modeling.
I kind of want to do it as well because it might give me and Dave a final excuse to actually meet up, and I can beat him at Warhammer.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was about to say
Awesome.
I can
Yes.
drive up to Scotland and lose.
No, because my wife's got family in Wakefield, so it's only a stone's throw from Sheffield. So if you're ever down there at the same time, we'll sort something out.
Easy, let's do it.
Or Warhammer World or something like that.
Oh,
Right.
there we go. Warhammer World, even better.
You heard it first out there. Tale of Four Warlords, the podcast.
No, it's a Tale of the Four Feldherren.
Yes.
I like that. It's good.
Yeah. What's the word for story again in German?
Geschichte.
Geschichte. Das Geschichte der vier Feldherren.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't shouty enough.
It's actually die Geschichte, but I like das
Yeah,
Geschichte
yeah.
besser. It's better. I'm
I-
slipping into German now. Das Geschichte der vier Feldherren.
That's better.
That's what we call it.
I still love the German word for petal.
Kettle?
Pedal?
Petal.
What pedal?
No, petal as in on a
so-
flower.
Flower?
God, what is it again?
It's Blutblatt.
Yeah, Blütenblatt. Blütenblatt.
Blütenblatt.
That's so violent.
Sorry,
That's
I
ridiculous.
keep getting it mixed up with Bloodbath.
Yeah, it's blood. Yeah.
It's important to get right in certain contexts.
Yes.
Oh, you're such a lovely bloodbath, my dear. You're like a lovely bloodbath in spring. I like it. It's das Geschichte der vier Feldherren. It's awesome. It's also like Geschichte in German means story, but it also means history.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like a long haul thing.
Oh yeah.
I love that. That's really good. Oh shit, I committed to stuff. But the thing is, I'm really excited to move to Hamburg for two reasons mainly. I'm getting fiber to the building, actually fiber to the flat. 200 megabits down, 100 up.
You swine.
I'll be uploading the podcast very fast.
Oh man, I hate you.
And I we'll have a room, a hobby room. Katie wants to have like hobby there too, but I'm calling it the Warhammer room. Oh, we have to mention, we got the metal,
We did.
the
from
metal
Richard
plate
Marsh.
thing. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh
I'll
yeah,
have to put a
yeah,
picture
yeah.
in the show. It's great. It's a Dark Angel symbol.
I've got all of the symbols.
Yeah, you got some heresy on there.
I was
Too.
just like, I
See,
can't.
So you have to explain. So how is it like fine print or is it like foil or what's the?
It's basic. It's a metal plate. It's like the those magnets they have for fridges sometimes. Or is that just an Australian thing?
I was just kind of like, it's kind of like old advertising.
Oh
kind of-
yeah, like those advertising.
Rather
signs.
than like a really old gas stations, there would be like, rather than posters, that'd be like basically printed on sheets of metal.
Yeah.
It's that.
It's that, and it's like it comes with a magnet that you can just stick to the wall, and then you can just hang it on the magnet, which is cool.
Oh, that's so nice of him. It looked really awesome.
It's really nice. It's individually numbered. Like mine's numbered 1 out of 10.
Yeah. And yeah, it's like make my living room even more ridiculously dorky.
Well, I got some pictures here that I bought at Warhammer World. I've got the Azrael, the.
Yeah.
There's
I remember you making the tiny shrine in the.
It's so good. It's like a picture of Azrael becoming chapter master. And I spent when I was living in Wimbledon, I spent ridiculously amount of money to frame it. For like a frame, it's like the frame's like 3 times as expensive.
Yeah,
it's just
and then you spent every evening in supplication in front of it.
Yes.
With only candles lit in the.
Yep, and the hood, wearing a hood, chanting. There's like little guys also in hoods running around. And then on the other side, I've got is that Chapter Master of the Flash Terrace? I bought
Gabriel
that.
Seth.
Yeah, I bought that at when you were at the Weekender. Oh, it's so good.
Gabriel Seth's my favorite thing about Index 1 is because it's got it's got the chapters for each chapter. So it's got like the thing about the blood
Chapter for
angels,
each chapter, yeah.
the thing about the Space Wolves, and then it's just 2 pages for the Flesh Terrors. It's got 1 page of lore and then Gabriel Seth because it's the only unique unit they have.
But he's there.
But he's great.
He's cool. This is a great picture as well. He's got like a chainsaw.
Yeah,
It must be an eviscerator.
Yeah, it's so good. I want to pick that model up, but I have no need for it, so I've not got it.
I'm going to put that up in the Warhammer room, and then it's going to be so good. Space
Shall we
for painting.
Should we do the feedback?
Yeah, now that we've committed to shit.
Yeah, now that we've committed to stuff, we better run away and then decide actually what we're doing.
I forgot to look on Twitter for the feedback.
Well, while you do that, I can do the email.
Okay.
We have an email.
Just that I can
Ooh.
send them feedback on.
Oh, yeah, you can. So we had an email from Barry Williams, who has sent in lots of feedback before. Says, I know I've sent this in before, but your discussion of the signal, brackets, heat death of the universe, not AI, reminded me again, you should reread the 3-body problem series.
Yes, people
you have to wait for the last book before discussing the end of the universe, but there's lots of good stuff in between. Sorry, too long to tweet. Keep up the good stuff. Yes, so I've got that ready to go. I'm currently reading the 4th book in the whatever the fuck the Alistair Reynolds big space opera thing with like Chasm City, Revelation Space. I'm reading Absolution Gap right now, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, I read those on, I think it was your guys' recommendation, maybe.
Sweet, yeah, because I powered through the first 3 of them in like a summer, and they were really, really, really good. But then someone was just like, "Oh, did you ever finish that series?" And I was like, "Oh, fuck, I've not."
I did exactly the same thing. The 4th one, without spoilers, is that the start of the green stuff?
Potentially, I'm like halfway through. There has been some great. It's kind of like got weird.
Is this in Games Workshop? Greens.
Kind of like cathedral things with an ice planet.
Okay, no, I got through that one. I got stuck on the 5th, so I went through the first 4 and then.
I didn't really like the 3rd one as much, which is a bit of a problem because the 4th one sort of continues directly onwards and references it all the time.
Yes.
So I had to look up the plot again. Be like, what the fuck happened in that? But yeah, it's a good series. And so yeah, after that I'll be giving the 3-body stuff good because they're kind of short reads. I think they're not that big.
I have my editor-in-chief told me that's a good book, so I'll have to read it.
Good.
Actually, most of the feedback is from Joe. He's giving Dave shit on Twitter.
Yeah.
My existence is fraught with an issue that I'm not entirely sure whether I'm just one of Dave's Twitter avatars or not.
No, it's a worthy cause. As I said before, giving Dave shit. Somebody has to do it.
Yeah, I try. I can give you live running feedback as well because I read the Survivors book based on. And that was very good. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, he needs to write more books, I think.
Yes, he does. And I'm also on the 3rd. I've just finished the 2nd Expanse book. Couldn't get into the TV show. The books are phenomenal.
They're good, aren't they? Really good.
Very, very good.
There was Expanse chat on Discord as well. I can't remember who. Someone finished reading like the 4th book or something and was like, "Oh my
I love that." The 4th book is, I think that's my favorite. That's the one where they go to that planet, right?
Yeah, with the slugs.
Yeah. Oh god, that's so good. Basically Western, I think is why I like it. Like a space Western. It's like Star Trek as it should have been. It's really great. I think maybe the TV show you enjoyed a lot more when you read the books. I mean, I watched like the pilot episode which aired before, and then I read 2 books before they aired the 2nd episode of the show. So I can't relate to what it feels like if you just watch the TV show.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch it, but
Watch it with subtitles.
yeah, I watch everything with subtitles. I don't know why. Habit.
Play all games with subtitles.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Like it distracts me a lot. Like really, really badly. Like Katie's been watching Sons of Anarchy, and she turned subtitles on because they're weird sometimes. They're mumbling and shit, and weird accents, and it distracts me to no end because I can't not read them. I have to read. Then it just. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that problem, but I don't consciously read a lot. When I read, I don't consciously read the words anyway. I just let my subconscious deal with that bit, so I don't notice it. But I don't do anything where I just watch TV either. I can't do that. So.
You have to do something on the side, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I literally can't. I've been to the cinema once in the last 8 years because of that. I cannot sit down that long.
I just have this picture of you watching like a Marvel thing, and you're filing Noblers in the cinema. Fucking mold lines.
Yeah, I am finished, by the way. I finished about 5 minutes ago, but my fingers just hurt now.
Yeah, that happens. Oh god, that happens. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I've been watching. So I've watched Enterprise. I think I talked about this on the show, and I've went on to the original series. Oh, Dave says he has to go. Dave,
I'm gonna have to run.
Okay.
So again, with the
first man down, so we can make fun of your Ultramarines.
Yeah, you can. With the speaking German and the Danishness, I'm running away again. Hack the planet. Praise Jesus.
See you next show.
See you later.
See, this that was a very, very abrupt last podcast for him.
Yes.
Yep.
That was the Raven Wing.
Realize that was the last words ever uttered.
It's been taken out by the Raven Wing. Yeah. So I've been watching the original series. My God, the acting's so bad, and it's so sexist. God, it's really sexist. It's like the first pilot where it isn't Kirk, and I think Major Barrett is like the first officer, and like this yeoman comes on the bridge, and Kirk's like, no, not Kirk, like the other Captain Pike, like nearly runs into her, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just not used to having women on the bridge," and like his first officer looks at him, and he's like, I don't mean you, number one, you don't count. She just looks at him first. So bad. And then there's this episode where like there's a planet full of children because they die when they hit puberty. And this girl who, Kirk keeps saying is just becoming a woman. So she's like 15 or 16. And like Kirk keeps flirting with her.
Yeah, I saw your tweet on that.
Oh, God.
She's about to kick the bucket.
It's so fucking creepy.
A planet full of people who never reach puberty isn't going to have very long lifespan.
No. This is explained. So basically, they tried to they created a virus and tried to enhance their lifespan, and it worked. But you die when you hit puberty. So all the kids. So she's not 16 years old. She's like 300, right? But
okay.
The actress is like, well, she's older because actress and stuff. But it's like supposed to be like 15, and Kirk's like flirting, and you're like, what the, Jim?
Yeah.
I do say I will say I do approve of the uniforms though, like the skirts is just absurdly short. Anyway.
Yeah, it's Star Trek, something I never got. I never got it. It just didn't. Yeah, I just don't get it. It just has no interest to me whatsoever.
Star Wars?
No, Star Wars, all over Star Wars.
Okay, so yeah, well, that's quite normal. It would be not normal if you don't like any, like, that would have been weird.
Yeah, no, you don't trust people you don't like either.
Mike, what about you?
Yeah, I'm in the Star Wars camp. Sorry, Fab.
Really?
I have should I put it? I appreciate Star Trek for the difference in tone and intelligence of the show's content, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If you sat me down and said, I'm gonna put up a Star Trek episode on the TV, and if you don't like it, well, screw you. You know, you're gonna watch it, and I would actually go, no, it's okay. I'll watch it. I find some of it enjoyable, and especially some of the characters like Data or Captain Picard and people like that, where it's that character they're good and interesting, and maybe the interplay between people, that's but you could say that about a lot of series and stuff like that. So the overarching sort of I'm so into Star Trek, I as Joe, I probably couldn't drum it up, because it's just a whole universe where I've just not invested enough in it to really.
Right. For me, it's just I grew up with it, and the thing is just I used to think like Next Generation was bad acting. My God. Or it's Kirk. Shatner's so bad. Like, that he's bad. Like, it's but watching it again, it's like the captain's log's always like mission, our mission, explore this planet. The unthinkable has happened. He only speaks like in like half sentences. It's like people on the planet. Freezing. Yeah. People on the Enterprise. Full of fear.
I mean, in that sense, like, it has dated a bit, I think. And then and somehow, I know Star Wars, of course, the original trilogy is dated in a way, but then George Lucas sort of, he tinkered with it over the decades and got to sort of redo it a little bit. So, from a sort of visual aesthetic point of view, he sort of upgraded it a little bit. But the space opera side of Star Wars is probably a little bit more relatable than sometimes the more deep sort of mirrors of the time that it inevitably came up in Star Trek.
Star Trek is more traditional science fiction, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. So it would sort of mirror whatever was going on at the time in science or social culture or whatever, and then it becomes more obviously dated later. It's just name of the game.
The format lends itself to that though, because with the TV show you have to do that to keep it interesting every week. Whereas with a film, you don't have to do that as much.
Well,
very good point.
You used to do though, right? Now it's different. With stuff like The Expanse and Game of Thrones and The Sopranos. I think The Sopranos basically started this.
They're based on books, aren't they? Isn't Star Trek TV first?
Yeah. But I mean, it's like I don't think it's because of. I mean, Sons of Anarchy, for example, it's not based on books. It's like that's the new kind of format that like cable television kind of established in the US. Channels like HBO. I think it was the first thing I can remember is Sopranos, where it was like that, where you had like a huge arc over like a series,
it's like a serial novel, but just on a a screen.
I actually now think I don't like going to I go to the cinema and I watch movies, but I much prefer TV shows now. I think that modern way of telling stories where it's not like the traditional TV show like Star Trek, Monster of the Week or whatever it is, where they reset everything at the end of the episode. I mean, no, 24 probably did that first, right? The whole, speaking of Kiefer Sutherland, the 24.
What a
to the back of the episode
you just made there, yeah. Brilliant, Fab. Well done.
I mean, 24 did this very early. This is why I really liked it in the beginning. That's dated in its own way, like with the whole terrorism stuff that came after. But it has that way of telling stories, and I much prefer that to movies these days.
Yeah, no, it's the landscape of that kind of entertainment has definitely shifted to what you've just said there. That is now binge watching is not a dirty word anymore. You know, that's basically like couples of a certain age will go like, oh, let's put our feet up and binge watch a series like you would watch a movie.
Yeah.
You know, you would spend 2-3 hours or something maybe. It's just normal part of media consumption now, or
I'm actually for where I'm moving now, we're just like, we basically won't get TV. Like there's a basic package that's like 20.
What's the point?
That's 20 channels that cost like €2 a month, which is just like you need, because sometimes something happens, like the World Cup or something. You wanna see something current on TV, but otherwise we'll just watch Netflix or whatever.
Yeah, but it's the same like the landline telephone, right?
Yeah, we're actually thinking about.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need that anymore. Save €20 a month.
We only have a landline because we have to pay for the landline subscription to get the broadband.
Right. Yeah. That used to be the same thing in Germany.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, wouldn't bother. We only pay our TV license for the BBC and stuff because our son watches the kids' shows on it, which are really good. And if it wasn't for that, before we started watching them, we didn't bother.
Yeah, for me it's because it's fiber, right? I would actually need to order. I can just not order telephone, and I'm seriously thinking about that. I don't like being on the phone anyway.
I don't remember the last time we even plugged our landline in.
Well, for us, it's like for our parents. That's the only factor.
Yeah.
Because they call like once a week.
Yeah.
We do it all through Google Hangouts.
Huh.
So,
well, I would work with my parents probably, but Katie's parents are a bit more.
It's easier to do that when you've got a kid they want to see.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, or FaceTime for the Apple. Technology, yeah. And I mean, Fab, I don't know, would you consider maybe doing a special on new media? Like, because...
I thought you were going to say, would you consider getting a kid? I'm like,
oh, no.
I already committed to painting minis, man.
I don't know what got you thinking that, but that's not where I was going with this anyway.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, that's okay. New media, like, if you look at a site like Twitch, for example, the gaming streaming, there are people now, they can easily get maybe 15,000-20,000 viewers live.
Yeah.
And when was the last time that a regular TV program of not news or X Factor status or whatever, when would you get live like that amount of people for something, like a niche thing, like computer games or whatever? I mean,
yeah, for that definitely no. Yeah,
it's amazing now that this stuff is really running really fast now, and I think from a Geek News perspective, I think it would be really interesting to.
It's actually a good idea.
Because
more things. You're coming out with more things I need to do. Damn it!
Sorry. Yes. I'll stop.
Yeah, but no. It's a good idea actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Twitch thing is something I'm not into, but like I know, like I got a guy at work who like he's got a Twitch window open most of the time. He just watches on the side. Like I listen to music when I write, and he just watches Twitch.
It was just to sort of bundle up the at the end of TV. I think it is the end of landline.
Cord cutting, basically. Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right there. I mean, there's still like in Germany, there's still lots of people that watch TV, but it's like this is like old people, right? Older than us, probably.
Well, I mean, even my generation, and I'll be 40 next year. I grew up in a environment where you had set times for the news.
Yeah.
Friday evening there was a certain program that everybody watched, right? And I grew up with that, so that was still within our time, so to speak. But But very quickly after my childhood, that started sort of changing, and now we're in where, you only put on the TV if it's the World Cup or X Factor or the news, right?
It's really weird when that happens, like when a show like The Expanse does that, because they're on a TV channel somewhere, and they do it like a new episode each week.
That they still adhere to that, or
that's a special case now. Like for me, I find that really weird. I'm like, why don't they just put the whole season on Netflix? Be done with it. Take my money. I just want to watch
my money. Exactly.
I just want to watch it now. I don't have the patience, to be honest. I don't know how you guys see that.
I think it could happen. It could definitely happen. That just go here's the totality of episodes. You can binge watch it or you can divide it up as you want, but it's all available now. Because that's the instant gratification thing that's for better.
That I don't have because my rule book's not here.
Yes. Well, you could just have gone online and bought the digital versions,
Yeah, but I really wanted to have, like, for some things, I really like to have a book. Maybe that was my mistake.
It's much easier with things like this with a book. I cannot get on with digital versions for playing games.
Yeah, the flipping back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on that one. It's just, in order to get my information quickly, I did succumb to get the Index Imperium just to see the Space Marines, so I could.
And there's also the smell. Stats, like, I can already smell the book. It's about 800 meters away. I can smell it.
No, that's the book burning.
It's the fires of downtown Isernhagen. Yeah, I think was that all the feedback? Was that it? Yeah, I think Dave ran away. Right now, I have to do the.
Your feedback monkey has gone, and I'm sorry I can't provide that service unless you put me in charge.
I can, but it'd be a bit self-fulfilling because most of the feedback's me giving Dave shit.
No, he's not here. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Damn. So I should do the contact stuff. You can write us email so we can read out feedback. GNR at sixgun.org. No, it's not Guns N' Roses. They had to end their concert, by the way. I've read because of the thunderstorm.
They basically they played a bit and then stopped.
30 minutes or something, then they stopped. So that's over. That's shit.
Yeah.
You can tweet us, which we like.
No, you can tweet you. Great. Well, why didn't I know about this?
Well, you're already tweeting us at Geek News Radio. I'm at Fabsh, Fabsh. Dave, who isn't here anymore, but
he will never be again.
He will never be again. But you can commiserate with him on Twitter at Megaslippers. Now you two.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you first.
No, go Joe. I always do this. Sorry. Go ahead.
I should have.
Did exactly the same thing. So I am Iosif Ward or Joseph Ward, however you want to do it on Twitter.
With an I instead of a J.
And an F instead of a PH. If you find Dave, you'll find me.
She's the one giving Dave shit.
And I'm at M Stones MJ. So there's only one E in Stones. So there you go.
And everything will be in the show notes, of course. We have a Discord channel, and that's in the show notes as well, and a Steam group where nothing happens. So when we won't talk about that, it's like the Imperium Secundus.
There was no Imperium Secundus.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I guess we'll have to meet again for the what was it? Das Geschichte der vier Feldherren.
Oh, you've called me out now. It has to be die Geschichte der vier Feldherren.
Does it have to be?
Yeah, because now every time you say das, I'll feel the pang of hurts in my heart.
It's die now. I couldn't remember. Die Geschichte der vier Feldherren. But you have to say it.
Kind of that thing that I said I'd do.
What was that again? Harlequins?
Yes.
I still think it'll be less of a pain for you than for me. Because
I think is it Sekurath? Sekurath is laughing somewhere.
Is he still in there? I mean,
Well, that's-
If they kill Slanesh, I'm gonna be pissed off. That's basically they put all the law in place there. I think.
No, but you know what? I think it makes sense that they have Slanesh is missing in Age of Sigmar, but he's still in K, right? Because he was always, or she was always a big thing in 40k, right? As the arch nemesis of the Eldari. It's really tough after 2 big gin tonics.
Okay, I think we should wrap this up. It's been a very long show. It's very nice to have you on again. Especially Joe. Joe, you have to come on. We won't give you a year this time.
Yeah, no, that does sound good. Things have settled down a bit now, so yeah, I'll do my best.
And
you'll have me back on for that thing that I said I'd do.
Yeah,
yes.
That's the Feldherren thing. Yeah. Cool. Well, there's nothing more to say. I hope I'll get my rule book tomorrow.
Is it bad that I kind of a little bit hope you don't?
No. We'll be talking about it on Twitter, I'm sure.
If you don't get it, I don't think you'll be talking.
I hate you all!
Praise Sekirath.